Will Uber cease operation in California? Let's talk about it. This is a juicy one. Welcome everyone. I'm Mark. This is Mark's Travel Time. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask that you click my face in the corner to subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Wow, this has been fun to watch all year long. As interesting as this game of cat and mouse is, it's also incredibly transparent, but it's fun to analyze. Let's look at what's going on now. Dara Khosrowshahi, Dastardly Dara, CEO of Uber, is now threatening to pull the plug on Uber, at least temporarily, if they are forced to legally become employers. There is so much going on here. What I'm going to choose to do is read this article to you so I can take this in pieces, take this in bite-sized chunks. This is so good. I get this from the California Globe, but it is everywhere. This is just hitting the news today. On Wednesday, Uber CEO Dastardly Dara Khosrowshahi said that Uber services in California would shut down until November if an appellate judge doesn't overturn a Superior Court ruling forcing rideshare companies to recognize workers as drivers. So that's the upshot, right? We know that this has gone to court. The court decided, yeah, it looks like you're an employer and people should be employees. And Uber's appealing. Now here's the thing. I told you about this since day one with... Do I have to always say I told you? So I think I do. I have to remind you where the truth is. The truth is on this channel. It always has been. AB5, all those other channels that do the scare tactics or do the thrill excitement tactics or do the follow me boys, now I'm in charge, we're in charge. They're all, they're feeding you a bunch of BS. I've been telling you from the start that the wheels of justice move slowly, at least in this case it does. And AB5, remember when some people said January 1st, the world's going to change? Nothing changed because attorneys know how to drag things out. And this is another example of it. So I wouldn't expect anything groundbreaking soon. Superior Court Ethan Schulman ruled on Monday that Uber and Lyft were violating California law by not giving workers basic labor and employment protections. Sort of. Okay. You're not violating the law when you are challenging the law. There are really two different things, and they have been appealing, and they, put things on the ballot. So, it depends on what camp you're in. I have to say this. People on all sides here are doing a fantastic job of stating their position. They've been doing a great job of ignoring some facts and just propping up their own facts. And you'll see what I mean as we go further on this. Under the judge's ruling, all rideshare drivers must now be considered employees, which includes expensive benefits that could implement fixed hours and other major changes. That's exactly right. Do you want fixed hours? Because who's going to fix them? It's not going to be you. Uber and Lyft reacted to the news negatively on Monday. Well, maybe they reacted negatively. I don't know. It depends which camp you're in. Do you want to be an employee or don't you? On Wednesday, Dastardly Dara elevated their concerns and threatened more direct action. We will have to shut down until November, said, I'm not going to do this every time, said Dara. If the court doesn't reconsider, then in California, it's hard to believe we'll be able to switch our model to full-time employment quickly, so I think Uber will shut down for a while. Is he telling the truth? In that one statement, he both prevaricated and he did tell the truth. Number one, yeah, it is going to be next to impossible to just flip a switch and have everyone become an employee. But it's also posturing because they knew this was possible since January 1st when they started fighting it. And you can't tell me that a company as powerful as Uber and someone as savvy as Dara Khosrowshahi haven't been planning for this moment. They've been planning for this ever since AB5 was just a bill. And then when it became law, you can't tell me that now, in August, 8 months since the thing passes, the first time that they're first considering, oh, we might have to actually abide by this. There's no way that they have not looked at every single option and figured out exactly how to implement this. That's a reality. It's not a game of chicken one way or another. It's really up to the courts, and we're going to comply with the law, and we will get going again, but it's really unfortunate. It could put vast swaths of our drivers out of work. Everything, once again, is true there, but, well, not everything, because it is a game of chicken. Every time that you manipulate something legally, it's a game of chicken. Of course it is. He knows what he's doing. He knows that they could have been planning for this all along, but he's kind of playing us as pawns. When I say us, I mean drivers. You know, he said all of these drivers will now be out of work. All right, state of California, what are you going to do? How do you feel about that? I want to hear your comments down below. Is this a clever, savvy tactic, or is this throwing drivers under the bus? I think it's both. I think it's both. You know, he's playing drivers, but he's also, you know, doing a really good move here. And to a certain degree, he's honest. Because it's true, they can't do it at a moment's notice, but they had more than a moment's notice to set this one up. They've had 8 months and even long before that. Critics have said that this is close to blackmail. They have that ballot proposition, and they want to drag it out until that vote is taken. Now, I saw on another channel when I just lost a whole lot of respect for that commentator. I'm not going to say who it is, you probably know. But on another channel that he was saying, oh, they want to delay it and they want to get drivers so upset that they're going to vote for the Proposition 22. Uber drivers don't make up a big enough voting bloc. It's going to be insignificant. And that channel, I might talk more directly to this, but then that channel was saying, oh, you better get ready, drivers, using the exact same scare tactic. This is where I lost a lot of respect. You better get ready, drivers, and start signing up for delivery services. Said that at no less than 2 times in that video. And then they have links down below. And I thought, you're doing the exact same thing. You're throwing out some messages of scare, and then you're using something that you can benefit with in order to avoid this. And I just lost a lot of respect and credibility for that, or that person in my eyes lost a lot of credibility, that commentator. Let's hear from Christina Monez, of Orange County rideshare driver and organizer. We fought so long for this, now we see them pulling every stop not to treat drivers fairly. Maybe. When we got AB5 passed, we thought that was it. Well, that's your fault. I mean, I saw it coming. I don't know why you didn't. I saw that Uber was going to fight this tooth and nail. So we thought that was it. They kept fighting, of course they did. And if this appeal fails, they're willing to lose out on a ton of money for nearly 3 months just on the chance that Proposition 22 passes. Of course they will. Of course they will. They'll lose a little bit of money in the short term. During a time when, you know, because of COVID-19, their business is way down anyways. They're going to risk a little bit of money there to get business back to their version of normal if that proposition passes. Obviously, they feel pretty strongly it will. Why? Because, as I said earlier, most people don't care that much about drivers. It's unfortunate. I know that we focus on it because it's our livelihood. At least for a lot of us it is. For a lot of you like me, it's, you know, side income. But for a lot of you, it's your livelihood. But there's not a big enough voting bloc. There just isn't. We need health care, and we deserve to have workers' rights. We have some drivers working 80 to 90 hours weeks by driving in San Francisco for days at a time, only occasionally. Okay, you're using the extreme. I hate these types of arguments. When you take the extreme, that's not a typical driver driving 80 to 90 hours a week in San Francisco. It just isn't. The average driver is a part-time driver. And to me, now this argument starts to lose credibility when you don't say, hey, here are the facts, here's what's really happening. You start using an extreme example. Now they're risking their lives driving a COVID. Well, don't do it then. And by the way, you're not risking your life. Okay, I'm tired of talking about COVID-19. The average person that gets COVID-19, if you don't have comorbidities, if you're not over age 70, some people aren't even showing signs of it. They're asymptomatic. Other people get sick. But realistically, you're risking your life just driving anyways. You know, you could get held up at gunpoint and get shot. You could get in a deadly car accident. Any of those things could be risking your life. So I think that's a weak argument. And then they come back to Dara. Says that a successful appeal and passage of Prop 22, Uber would comply with the law, but would severely constrict the company, put many out of work. Well, that's true. It would. I'm not saying that that's a good thing, and I support what he's doing, but he's right. Under an unaltered and live AB5, Uber would have a much smaller presence in California, limited mainly to city centers at much higher prices. And CEO Khosrowshahi likened that to what Uber was when it first started, a private car service to rival taxis. All right. So what's my take on this? Is this a hollow threat? Probably not. There's two ways you can go with this. Either Uber has been so incredibly pompous and arrogant that they really did nothing to prepare for this moment that they might be forced to become employers. And if that happened, that they have completely inept leadership. So I can't believe that happened. I have to believe in the past 8 months that they are ready to go. However, I also believe that plan probably includes severely limiting hours, trying to keep people to maybe whatever, I don't know what the threshold is in California, something like 30 hours a week, so they don't have to give them all kinds of full-time benefits. Just because you get benefits doesn't mean, for example, you're getting a comprehensive health care program. It doesn't mean any of that. It does mean that you're probably, I don't know all the labor laws in California, you probably do require, you know, things like time off, maternity leaves, sick days, things of that nature. They pay into Social Security and workers' comp and that sort of thing. But I wouldn't expect an extravagant benefit package all of a sudden. I think that's misleading. The other way it could go is they're probably going to win the appeal to get an extension. I would be surprised if they don't. And they're going to drag it out until the election. And they're going to see if Proposition 22 passes. And then they're going to re-gear for another PR campaign. That's what I really think is going to happen. What's the major impact to drivers? Not a whole lot at this point. Unless you're like that other channel and say, oh my goodness, here, go down below, sign up for my link, because every time you sign up, I get money. Now, I don't have an objection to, having links. I have links down below, where if you sign up, I get a little something. What I don't like is using scare tactics and saying, oh my God, the sky is falling, so you better sign up for my link today. I just lost so much respect for that commentator. It isn't even funny. Do I think you have to panic? No. But I think, let's look at the flip side of the coin. I think that drivers in California should have been preparing all along as well. Right? If you watch all the extreme channels who say, now we're going to march down with torches and pitchforks and we're going to bring down the king. If you looked at channels that said, oh, now we're going to start getting, all these comprehensive packages and benefits. If you've been watching all that, you're getting taken in as well. You got to watch every side of it. You can't just look at one perspective. So look at what's happening legally from California's perspective. Look what's happening legally from Uber, Lyft, all of those perspectives. And then look at how lawyers manipulate. And you'll get a better picture of really what's going on. Dara said he wasn't playing chicken. He certainly is. He's throwing out some scare tactics. One thing he says a lot that I don't really care for, he always says, well, most drivers want to be independent contract. I agree. I think most drivers do, but it doesn't mean you want to be treated poorly in the process. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that Uber is going to shut down? Do you think that they're suddenly going to become employers? Those are kind of the two extremes. I personally don't think either of those things are going to happen. I think they're going to continue to play the waiting game, and they're going to do everything they can to push it to the election. That's what I think is going to happen. But I could be wrong. I was once before. Leave your comments down below. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. If you haven't already, click my face to subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mark, and this is Mark's Travel Time.